Alright, how we going, guys? And welcome to a full flight to, basically just a full flight to Sydney, just to test out the aircraft. And yeah, we'll see how she goes in flying. I'm not going to, for this particular flight, I'm not going to really do anything like that sim-wise or whatever. But this is just to get my bearings back at the aircraft again, and yeah, basically just fly down to Sydney and see how things go. Yeah, so we'll be doing as full a flight as I can possibly do without VATSIM. So we won't be flying on VATSIM today, but yeah, we will be flying eventually with VATSIM. Um, so there is a few things that apparently we can that we have to set up. Did flight plan activate? I think we got to put this in a community folder. So what I'm doing here is looking for the BMDG aircraft, because just want to put in the documentation of BMDG, MSFS, yeah. I want to set up the FMS. So pretty sure it's just chuck it straight in here and make a folder. So folder, file plans, that's all sorted. Just export. Not 100% sure if this is going to work. YBBN to Sydney. So we'll see how that works. If not, I'll just have to wing it, I guess. So we'll just check to see how that works and go from there. Alright, so yeah, welcome to the 737-700. Get on the road. Right, so we're sitting here in. There we go. Now she's ready. So what I want to do real quickly, get going. So I'm going to set that up. Set that up just for now. So I've got some sort of. Yeah, I did. Right. So without further ado, basically let's just jump in the aircraft and get the show on road. Batteries on, close that. We'll make sure we set the ground service GPU card on. Let's just say in-pit power. Let's see what that in-pit power looks like, shall we? I'm not 100% sure what in-pit power does. Ah, it comes from the, there you go. It comes from the gateway. So there's no GPU card. Okay. So ground power is available, so ground power on. Alright, so the ground power is on and ready to go. So the next thing that we need to sort out is the alignment straight away, because this thing takes forever. So we turn that bottom knob there, you'll see the alignment will start up if we brighten it up. 7 minutes, okay? Come over here just to test it. 6 minutes to go until the alignment. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's do the rest of the aircraft. So we want to make sure that we have all the fuel on board to our flight. So let's quickly head over to just that, shall we? Alright, so just making sure that we've got a few pieces. That's what I want. Yep, that's what I want, but I don't want that. I want there. There we are. And we'll transition that over. Alright, so you can see here we've got our fuel, our flight plan. So we're going to be flying at 360 as our flight level. And the fuel today, we're going to need 5,700 194 on board. We're also going to have to remember our cost index, which is 20 for this one, and our ISA levels as well, which is positive 5 right there. And yeah. So, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that over here like so. Just put that back like that. And we'll go over to our menu and we'll set that up right now. So in FS Actions, we can set... There's a few ways of setting fuel up. So you can set the fuel via here. So we know we've got 11,000 on board, but we got to take some fuel out. There's also another way of taking fuel out. So we can come over here to the Airline Services panel and we can request the fuel truck to set what we need. So we know we need 5,794. And we don't need this 11,000 on board. So what we could do is I'm just going to select another 1,000 on top of what we actually need. So let's say 6,800. Chuck that in there. And basically we can't. Like, basically this is for filling. So if we were lower, we could fill. But since we don't need to fill, what we could do, we need to empty more, so we could just set it here so it's instant. So that is now instant loaded right there, as you can see. So this is not, I am not going right into detail on what it is. That's the density of the fuel, so if you wanted to find out the actual liters in weight, you can find that out there. So if you needed so much kilograms, alright, so 5,794. You can go calculator, 5,794 kilograms. Right, we can divide that by 803, sorry, and that's how many liters you have on board, 7,215. So, yeah, we're just going to take a little bit more fuel that we normally have on board than it asks for. You can also, in the page here, you can set what target. And you'll see all of this, all the trucks moving around as you set the target of passengers on board. And you can also set how many kilograms of cargo you want on board as well. I'll get in that at a later date because you can set this for before you land. And you can set it for turnaround stage, basically, alright? Which I think is it's really good. If you really want to get into the, you can set jetways, you can have stairs. I just have jetway. If you know you're going to be at a jetway, a target, so we want 85 people on board this aircraft, alright? So if I scroll down on this here, so we'll see how many passengers we need. So we need 102, right? So you put 102. There's 115 on board at the moment. Now you wouldn't use this. This is more for turning around aircraft. So you'd use this when you get to the airport that you're going to. So what you would do is you would come here. You'd go payload first. Then you would set your aircraft up here. All right. We're going to be taking 102 people on. So let's take 100 in the economy and 2 lucky bums up in the first class or business class in the aircraft, as we should say. Now, if we have a look here, we've got cargo of 2,500 kilograms, so we don't need the 4,000 there. So we can split that 2,500 to like 250, and we could easily do that right there. All right. So basically, that is our aircraft all set up to ready to go in the payload section. So we can also set up the doors and make sure the doors are open and closed and all of that sort of stuff. Now, yeah, so that's how you set all the fuel up. So we've set the fuel up. We're pretty much good to go on that. So I'm just going to quickly go back over to OBS here. We'll just turn that off and we'll get rid of that window just for now. And we'll come back to that later. So let's set up the rest of the aircraft, shall we? Alright, so we want to set some lights and stuff. So first off, we'll come up here. We'll make sure that your dampener's on. come down here, we'll select the fuel. That's all good. So the fuel is now all sorted. So we can select the APU and get the APU started. We'll watch that rise up. Emergency exit lights, or emergency exit lights, yeah, and we arm those. They're ready to go. Right, and we come up here, we can test. There's no actual power test on these things, which is weird. Now, I didn't do the before APU test. I wonder if they go off. Yeah, one. They all light up. I'll stop that from moving so I can have a look. Yeah, doing alright. That's alright. Cool. Now you can come down here and do one more test. Cool. Alright, so you normally do that before the APU. But anyways, the APU is up and going, so we can go ahead and take that off the ground power. We'll tell the ground power to get rid of that stuff in a minute. And select the window heat on now. Everything else can stay off. APU bleed on. And we'll go ahead and open up the valve. Everything else is pretty good. We're going to leave the air on the auto position. And we're going to make sure that our position is set for steady. And the logo lights can pretty much be on. I've never actually seen them pulse. So let's go and have a look at the pulse. I don't know if it's actually pulsing or not. There you are. There we go. I've never actually seen them pulse. So, yeah. Well, we'll just turn them on because there is a bit of rain out there. Or it is dark. Let's turn those on. Everything else is off. Anti-collision light off. So yeah, that second off is not for the anti-collision light. It's actually for the navigation lights and all that sort of stuff. Alright, so that's all set. Now, I'm wondering if that will pick up. Yeah, it does. It does pick up. So not a lot of things work as in keybind-wise, but some do. Alright, so the next thing we want to set is RTO on the aircraft, on the auto brake there. And FD and FD. Now, this MA here sets the FD to main. So if I flick that off, main goes over there now. So if I want main back over here, guess what? I have to turn the FO one back off and this one back on first. Okay, so set the FD. So that's that sorted. Alright, now I'm not 100% sure where we're taking off from on this yet. Now I'm going to go and check. I think it's 1Y19 on the left. That's okay. So what we'll do is we'll set our courses. So just change that. Our course is going to be set for 196 for the runway. And you'll set both of these up on your both sides. Alright, there's that one. There's that one. I also want to select the heading and set that up for 196 as well. We'll set the altitude for 6,000, which is Brisbane's initial departure. Alright, so that's basically set. Right, so the next thing that we're going to need is entering our position, okay? So the first thing we want to do is come to FMS. We want to make sure that our arc cycle is good. We want to make sure that we are in the right aircraft. The rating of the thing, and the arc cycle is 2204, which is up to date. And you can see it's up to date by April 21st of May 22 to the 19th of May. So April 21st to the 19th of May 22, which is good. So everything's up to date. Now we want to select the airfield. Now this airfield has a gate number. We are 23. So we can select 23 in the gate. Bam. And we're going to select Brisbane as our So Brisbane and then 23. So that gives us our exact location. It knows exactly where we are. Now, there's two ways of doing it. So gate 23 is the exact location of gate 23, but we want to select the aircraft's one. So we'll come over here and we'll select either one of these two here, okay? So it doesn't really matter. So we have a look. It's a little bit off. Oh, that's fine. Well, you can set whatever one you want, and the GPS knows where you are. Alright, so once we've done that, we'll go to our next page again, our route page. And we want to call in request a flight plan, okay? So we can go to request a flight plan, PMD G920, which is not there. So we need to think on how to do this. Now, there was a video out that, yeah, like I said, I haven't been watching any of the videos. So real quickly, G.
This.
I just want to really quickly figure out how to do this. I haven't really looked into it, so like I said, I'm just figuring it out as we go. There was a way of doing it. That I can remember. Alright. Let me find... what I'm looking for. I've lost it. I have lost the plot. Where the heck are you? There it is. I found you. Now, I think it is that... Alrighty, now I just need to go to the downloader that I had, wherever it is. Grab that out. Paste that in there like that. Alright, I might have to download these manually off the website. Bear with me. Alrighty, so we need to download P3D version. Paste. Paste. Alright, so we finally got it. Okay, so that's how we set that up. If for some reason it's now the SimBrief download is not working. Alright, so anyways, without further ado, let's get on this show on the road, shall we? I had to figure that one out on my own, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what we want. We're just going to type in QFA, for honest, whatever. 001. For the sake of it. No flight number. I don't think it came with really a flight number. So we're going to request that. Request. Should come up. And then once it's all sorted, it'll give us an uplink. Load. So we'll load that. And now it will load all our flight plan stuff into the aircraft. And there it is. And we're going to set that to active. Execute, and there it is. There's the aircraft. So you can go ahead and do our call sign, what you want. The runway, well, you know it's 19 left. Execute. And then we're all good. Now, on here, you can also select your call sign as well. So, if you can't remember your call sign, put that there. Once you've done your call sign on the aircraft, you put your call sign there. So, your 3-digit call sign. Alrighty? So, you've done all of that. So, your next thing that you need to do, after you've done that, is your path page. Now, you can just go ahead, and you should be able to just click on there, and off you go. We've got a very low state. Now, we were, what? I think it was 1.1 in our reserve, I think. 1 point something. Let's do 1.3 in reserves. Today, our cost index, if you remember, was 20. Our flight level that we're going to be today is flight level 360. Valid entry. So I wonder if it's just... Let's just do 360 and see what that does. Yep, flight level 360. Now, our course wind. So, if we have a look at the... real quickly, let's just bring that back up. Swap that back over. If we have a look on the flight plan, we'll have our average wind at 297. So, average wind, so we'll just chuck that in there. 297. At 065 and place that there. I'm not going to really worry about the trans level and all that stuff, but our trans altitude is 10,000 and that's it. Alright, so next we don't execute straight away. We're going to derate to 1. We can also select the outside temperature, so it's 23 degrees. So we're going to say that it's 25. Let's do that. We're going to say that it's 25 outside, even though it says 23. Now, next one, takeoff. So before you go to anything first, you go to the next page, and we want the runway wind. Okay? You want to try and get the weather. Now, I don't believe there is any other way of getting weather. So the data link doesn't work just yet. And there's no other way of getting ATC and all that sort of stuff. So you'll want to find what your weather is prior to coming in here. What I'm going to do, there's a way to find it in the sim. We'll do it that way instead of... so if you're using live weather, you just click on Meta, and then we're going to use Brisbane. And we're going to find our weather. So our wind is 130 at 10. 130 at 10, and it's got us on runway 19 left. Okay, cool. Alright, so 130/10 knots. Right. Now, runway slope, I will get into that in the future with you, but just for the sake of showing you now, it is down, so I believe it's down. So we'll give you an idea. I'm not going to get into it completely with you right now, but I'll give you an idea anyway. Not that one. I want this one here. And get rid of the other. Alrighty, so to give you an idea, anyways, what you need to do will be to get the highest point and minus by the lowest point, and then you times it by the times or divide by the length in meters, and it gives you your thing. So we have 12 and 11. Okay, so that's like 1 feet, alright? So it's 1 divided by whatever that is, and it's like 0.1. Okay, but because we're going up, alright, so this is what it is here. So we're going to be using U 0.1. Yeah, that's how you do it. So it is literally nothing. If it was a big thing, then you'd probably put it down to 1%. But yeah, that's what it is going to be. And then when you come back to this page, we're going to select 5 flaps. And you just click on that if you want to know what your CG is. Bam. If you want to do the calculations to find your CG, be my guest, go and do that. That's fine by me. Right, so the next thing that we can have a look at is we can select what our V speeds are going to be. So I'll select all those. I don't really like those, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 122, just give it a little bit more, 128, and I'm going to go 1, so V speed thing, and I might make that 40. Okay, so that's my V speeds. Runway remaining, you don't really need this, but if you want it, all you need to do is, now I believe that's in meters. Now it's in feet. So we want to have a look at the feet here. So we got 11,680. So let's round that up. We'll just say we have 11,000 feet remaining. I'm not 100% sure if that's how it works, but you can't for some reason. So we'll say 11,080, 680. So 11,007. We'll just say that. Or we can say 11,006, but we've got an extra 80 on top. That's because you can't change the last two, okay? So we've got that much in remaining. QRH, you don't need it off or on. QRH off just brings it there. If you put it on, it puts it up here on the screen on your speed tape. Right, so basically we are pretty much ready to go so far. Now the next part we need is departure. So we click on departure in arrival and we select depart. We need to find out on our navigraph right here where we're going. So we are on Seneg 1 departure. So we'll go over here, we'll select Seneg 1 departure. We'll pin that. And we're taking off on runway 19 left. So we go runway 19 left, Seneg departure. And you can see here in the plan, so if we select plan up the top here, select the... Oof. Takeoff speeds deleted. So you got to do all of this before you do takeoff speeds, by the way. But I'm just showing you. So you select the plan. You can see that's probably a glitch. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually a thing. So all we'll do is we'll select execute and see what happens. So I think that's a little bit of a bug. But we'll see. Alright, so you can go through and check to see what certain things are doing. You can move along to your different parts if you want to go through it. Okay. That's also your brightness tab. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there with the magenta line. I really hope that it will get fixed in the future. Yeah, go out. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a back and forth thing going on there, isn't it? So yeah, that's how you set that up. And it's even got the 600 feet. So it kind of like tells you where your aircraft's going to be all the way up. And you can override those as well. Probably going to do that when we get down to Sydney. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, won't we? Alright, so the next thing, what we've got to do, basically, is get... I think we've done legs, we've done that. We could go ahead and do the approach now if we wanted to, just by looking at Navigraph right here. And grab the runway 07, which I don't think we're going to use 07. I reckon we should use 3-4s and just use the crosswind. But we can use the 07. It's not a big deal. We'll have a look at what the weather is when we get closer. But anyways, so 07, Bori 3 Alpha arrival, so it doesn't really matter which one we use. I'm going to go 3-4 left, and if it doesn't favor 3-4 left, we'll change it to 7. So 3-4 left, bam, that's it, done. Now we can also check that on the plan, make sure that's working out alright. Go to legs, move down here, and as you can see, it moves out to the right perfectly fine, and it's not approaching it. See, I don't know what that little flicker is, so we might fly that. I'm not going to turn the autopilot on until we get to Sanag. Alrighty, so from there, that's basically it. So on Navigraph, I'm going to leave Navigraph up, boys. Alright, so I'm going to leave Navigraph up for you. I'm just going to move it down there, out of the way, and we're going to put the Sanag departure on there for you. We'll get rid of everything there. Put that there, get rid of that, there. Just scroll in, just so you can see the route that we're going to be leaving from. So you'll be able to see that now. And yeah, so we're pretty much set up, ready to go. Now there is, I don't know if there's is the pushback set in this thing yet? It should be. It should be. No, it doesn't look like there's a pushback yet. No pushback required. I think pushback might be coming. Not too sure. Or is it? Oh no, there it is. My bad. Huh! I don't know why I didn't see that. Alright, so let's go ahead and close the doors. Okay, so the doors are closing now. Now, these will all close using ground services as well. Now, the pushback here, you can select the tug. Or none. Not too sure. There's a way of doing it by yourself, I believe. Straight out depart, S turned, dot the I, cross the T, push, none other, manual. So turn nose. Yeah, cool. What I wanted to see is to make sure that the telehandler, is the telehandler not working? Let's quickly check. Alright, we'll see what happens when we put some power into the aircraft. Alrighty, so, yeah. I don't know if I'll be using the pushback from PMDG or the other pushback in the future, but we can have a look at the PMDG one first. So, set the chocks there. The chocks are now removed. Select tug. Self-drive. So we're going to select the tug. We're going to self-drive it. There we go. How you going, guys? Yeah, no, I'm about to get going. So I'm just sorting out. I haven't used the pushback for a while. It's been quite some time. But yeah, so we're pretty much ready to go. Haven't really set the aircraft up to how I like it, so I'm just going to use all the automatic crap. So everything else is set up. We're ready to pretty much push back. And we'll just head down to things. So I wonder if there's a way of... There's a straight out, all that sort of stuff. So if we do self-drive... Set shocks removed. Alright, yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I'm not gonna have. I'm gonna stuff around with that one later. Let's just go ahead and use the other one that I use. We use Pushback Express. Pushback Express, in my opinion, is just so much better. Oh, a little bit of a lag spike there, but that's okay. But anyways, alright, so without further ado, let's get the show on the road. So we're going to go ahead and turn our anti-collision light on, right there. I really hope we're all good. We're going to go really quickly before we do any of that stuff. Select that, go to FMC menu. We're going to execute everything, so the aircraft's ready to go. Limit, takeoff. We need to reset these because we were doing something else before. 17. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. Alrighty. We're going to select 11.6. We're only a very light aircraft today, so that's fine. We'll make sure that the center of gravity is still the same, which it is. And we're going to go and set our V speed on the up here. So I'm going to set it personally for 140. We're going to arm that. Once that's armed, we're pretty much good to go for the rest of it. Oh yeah, nice. Nice work. Yeah, I'm from Brisbane. Alrighty, so everything's set, we're all good. For this first part, I'm going to turn Track IR off and just use the mouse. Alrighty, so when we're ready to go, make sure that speed brakes and flaps are up, gear handles down, and all that is all sorted. And then I'm going to talk to flight deck. So you should be able to hear this in the sim. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, we'll see. See what happens. Flight deck, Grant.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We'll be ready shortly.
Roger.
Alright, so we've got the thug coming up. I prefer this one over the PMD G1 because I can still control it anyways. So this is what we've got going on. The aircraft's ready to go. It absolutely looks amazing. Leaving Brisbane here. For some reason, our door's still open. I don't know why that is. I did shut it. So we'll just go and have a look. FSX actions. We'll go here. Close door, please. Everything else is there. Extended. Doors closed. Okay, cool. Alright, let's just head back over here. Make sure the doors are closed, which are okay. We're gonna one last quick check. Alright, so we have the yaw dampeners on. We have everything else okay. Do we have enough fuel? Yeah, we have enough fuel. I think we need that. Does the cross feed work? Cross feed works. That's tested. Engine valves closed. Okay. Good. APU's all good. All good. Last but not least, we're going to turn the engine bleeds off. Going to open the valve. Packs will come off, which they are off. We're going to turn the fan off for now. And yeah, it looks there is a bit of weather up there. Hopefully in S10 we should get something better. Real quickly, I just want to select back over to index or to go to takeoff page. Oh, I like how the FMSs are separated. Really good. Index, takeoff. We're going to select the legs page for this one, so we've got the legs page on the right hand side. We've got our takeoff page there. We're pretty much all good to go. Now, if we're really good to go, LNAV will work. And do we have VNAV? Awesome, we've got freaking VNAV in the game. Woo, finally. That's awesome. VNAV is actually working, I hope, in this aircraft. We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Ready, so we're going to go ahead and release that parking brake. Now, my parking brakes are on. Note the pedals there moving up and on. But, however, the light here doesn't move with my keybind. So if you want to do the full realistics, I suggest you just click it. For some reason, PMDG does not like listening to keybinds. So yeah, park brakes are off. Everything's off and ready to go. Brakes released.
Pushing back.
Alright, pushing back, and we'll get ready to go here. So he will tell us where to start engines in a minute. We're going to start our ignition, and then we'll just set it over to ground when he's ready. We'll have a look out to our left here. There's nothing there. Get our FO to look out to our right here. Nothing there. But we're going to be pushing around to our left.
You are clear behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
All right. He's given us ready. So we're going to go ahead and start. So we're set to ground power. As you can see, starter valve is open. We're going to watch for the N2 to rise. It's rising. I want to start the... Now, this is where things will get tricky because we don't have... I'm just going to quickly pause the sim here because for some reason my access are not going in properly. Go over to... where is it? Deep light rudder. We want to go here to all. Type in nose. Now I have my nose wheel steering set, so I wonder if it's in the air, not selected. It probably is, to be honest. So what we'll do is we'll stop pushback. Stop pushback. I don't want to crash into anything, so...
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
Brakes are set.
Roger. Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear.
Clear to disconnect.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
Now, it is really dark in this cockpit at this time of the day, especially with the lovely weather going out. So we'll turn up some lights and we'll start engine 2. Starting 2, starter is open. And 2's rising up there. Once we get to 20, you can wait until 25, which is what Qantas do. And there. Select the fuel. Fuel's now running. Now there is something to make our landing gear, our nose wheel stick work. I'll just have to find it. Because I can't even grab onto that dang thing. Starter's still open. Starter's off. What program do I use? It is FS to crew, mate. Pretty much. Now, you probably did not see that application on Let me grab it. See if I can get the application to show up on screen for you. Yep, that's it there. I'm not percent sure why it's not showing up on the screen. Place that up the top. Yeah, I don't know why that's not showing. Track Express. Okay. Enter. Yeah, it's just not showing up on the screen for some reason, boys. I thought it did once in one of my streams. But yeah, you can just talk to it, and yeah, it rolls in. Yeah, there is another one. Now, if I bring the other thing up on screen for you. Now, FS to crew, this one here, the fly-by-wire, you can actually have it so you have a co-pilot with you, and you can actually talk to your co-pilot, and they will flick switches and all sorts of stuff for you. Saves you having to do anything. So you can be the captain, they can be the first officer. It's the same sort of thing, but that's for the fly-by-wire. So I'm guessing they will definitely, FS to crew, watch them. They will definitely have something out for the Boeing 737 in the future. So, yeah. Yeah, so having an actual FO, it is really cool. Takes a lot of hands off for you, and you can actually tell them, so you can hand control over to them and give them commands like change heading or change altitude, and you don't have to do anything. You just say it by voice. I will definitely be getting it when I get it. And anyways, we started up, so we'll quickly swap the thing back there. We'll set those both to continuous. We'll come up to the left. We'll set the generators on. APU is now off. That's okay. We're going to set the power stuff. Now, this test does not work for some reason, so don't worry about it too much. Set the hydraulics. We're going to select the packs to auto. I'm going to turn the fan back on. We'll select the engine bleeds, APU off. Oh, APU bleed off, and then APU off. And there we go. After that, we've got a few more things that we can do. Now, I think that might have done something to the wheels, possibly, maybe. We'll go over to systems. We'll set the systems to the bottom page. Now we'll select, we'll make sure that our ailerons move, our elevators move up. Yeah. Oh, those engines are great. There we go. And we'll just select our brakes to see if the brakes work. Brakes are good. So yeah, that's that done. We can select the systems page again. We don't have the bottom NG working, ND working while we're flying, or while we're taking off. Everything else is good. We'll select our landing lights, which are here, taxi landing lights and runway turn lights on. I think we're pretty much all good to go. So let's see if our runway turn lights are off. Hang on a sec before we go. We need to come down here. We're going to select the VR, so we'll select transponder, TA only for now. That's it, so everything's set to 0. That's pretty cool. We've got like a data sort of thing going on here. I don't need to set any radios. I'm not going to be flying with any like controllers or anything. We will be using this area in a second. Well, when we get to the landing, because that's for the auto land system and the heads-up display. So we'll be using that when we get there. But yeah, that's pretty much everything set. I gotta say, this is absolutely crystal clear when it comes to this sim. I've flown this aircraft ever since I was 10 years old in FSX, FS9. I've also flown it in Prepared, and now I get to fly it again in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It is just phenomenal, and wow, they have done an amazing job. So now the burden of making sure that our aircraft will actually leave this stand without me. We're turning. Good. Okay, that was a hydraulic issue, so there's the engine, so I'll be quiet for a bit now. Oh, this is a big boy to get moving. Look how slow it's going. Hear that rumble in the engines, though, when you get it going. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to select flaps. That's 1, 2, and 5. I've actually got a Bravo throttle quadrant, so if you don't know what the Bravo throttle quadrant is, definitely go Google it. I've got it all set up, and it basically looks exactly like that right now. That's what my Bravo throttle quadrant looks like, so I'm really looking forward to it. Does that? There's those reverse engines right there, guys. Oh, look at that. It all works perfect, ready to go. Alright, so we're going to head out to runway 1 on the left, and then we're going to be departing on a Scenic 1 departure, climbing up through 6,000 to flight level 360. Our course lines are set for 196, which is the runway heading. Yeah, it's a really good aircraft, I'm telling you, mate. Absolutely amazing. We've got a warning there, which is just going to cancel out. We're probably taxiing way too fast, so let's slow it down. Now, we are very, very light aircraft, so we're going to take off from Alpha 3. I'm not going to taxi all the way up. So we'll just taxi out to Alpha 3. Have VATSIM turned on. There's no traffic turned on. So, yeah. We should be fine. Oh, man. This is my first takeoff. I've done a couple of videos already on my first look video. I've also done a custom video, which I haven't posted yet. So you can go through the FMS and you can do like a whole bunch of customizations. I'm probably going to redo that video before I post it because I didn't like the quality of it. But I've also done a very quick startup guide because a lot of people just want to get this aircraft in the air. But I will be doing a full-blown standard procedures. Get out of the way, car. I'll be doing a full-blown standard procedures guide and checklists and all that sort of stuff because I have checklists from Qantas. I've also got checklists from my flight simulator that I fly in at my university for my Bachelor of Aviation that I'm doing. So I got some really good ones out there. Yeah, that cold and dark is just very basic. It's not over the top for everybody. All right, so we're coming out to the runway now, so we're going to arm the throttle so we can actually use our toga switches and all that sort of stuff. I really want to quickly check to make sure in my controls that I have toga set because I haven't actually really looked into it, so I'm just going to click and make sure that toga is there. Toga is not set. I'm glad I noticed that. So we're going to go and set toga right now. So I think it's auto throttle. Auto throttle disconnect. I don't want that. Might be under brackets toga. Will that show up? Hang on a second. We are under all. Right. We need to make sure that we're on Bravo throttle quadrant, and we want to go auto throttle. Should be along here somewhere. I want that toga switch so bad. Toga? Alright, what was it on? There it is. Okay. Button 30, I believe it is, yeah. Is that it there? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we do have it. It is set. So it's all good. I'm happy with that. Alright, brakes on. So we have our autopilot set. We're not going to be using autopilot straight away. Oh, actually, is it fixed up? When I was setting up my flight before, the pink line that just did a dogleg out to the left was like flickering like crazy. And I was kind of scared that it would like send my aircraft into the drink going all over the place like it was. But it's not flickering anymore, so I think that was just a bug. And I really hope they do fix it. I'm going to have a look at it. Alright, so here we go. Flaps set for 5. We are entering the runway, so we probably should turn some lights on, shouldn't we? So that and our strobes, so we'll set our strobes up. Wings all off, anti-collision lights are off, which is okay. Logo can stay on, it's still quite dark outside. And I'll keep quiet on takeoff so you can listen to all the calls and the engines rumbling, and we'll talk when we get up in the air. Now, let's not crash and burn, shall we? Make sure flight director's on and everything's all good. Alright. Rumble up 40%. Set toga.
Airspeed alive. 80 knots.
V1.
Rotate. V2. Positive rate of climb.
Yeah, thanks, mate. What I did forget, though, is to turn our transponder to TAR, but there's no traffic in the area, but that's okay. Probably should still do that, as good memory. Follow the instruments now. So we're at 1,500. Let's get our flaps up. So noted by that green arrow going past the up there, we can turn our flaps up now. Flaps are coming up to 0. Looks like VNav's working really well, keeping the speed where it needs to be. Alright, let's follow the pink magenta line on the flight directors. Alright, we can also turn off the landing gear now. That's going to be painful. Oh shit. I'm putting my nose down. Alright. That's going to be a little different with the landing gear, because the landing gear is technically meant to go off now. But if I lower the landing gear with my with my keybinds, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Alright, so just following that magenta line. Oh, it is a lovely sounding aircraft. Alright, so there's just so much to do, so I'm going to go ahead and select Command A, let the aircraft take over. So the aircraft is now taken over. I'm going to give it VNav, so it can sort itself out. Yeah, see how it goes straight to... Yeah. Oh, the autopilot's up. Well, I'm just going to have to leave it up. In the real aircraft, what you'd do is you'd bring it down to off, but for some reason my gear lever won't let me do that. I'll have to have a look in the controls to see if I can sort that out. Alright, so now we're in takeoff. We've got our flaps up, gears up. And set our engines back to... We can actually set them to flight or off. But it's really up to you. I set them to off. Set standard for our barrow. I'm going to select hectopascals because that's what I use. Yeah, like, because I've got a Bravo throttle quadrant, my landing gear handles either up or off, like down, up or down. Whereas in the Boeing, they've got a second spot there. It doesn't matter. really. But the thing is while it's in the up position, the hydraulics are still working to keep the landing gear up. So really, you're putting wear and tear on the hydraulics just leaving it in the up position. If you had it in the off position, the hydraulics are no longer working. Now, the reason I want to do that is in here. You go to the options of here. You can go to is it in options, aircraft failures, all systems, I think it is. See this service-based failures. Now that will come under service-based failures, right? So the hydraulics are always on. So eventually I'm going to have a service-based failure because I'm stuffing around not having that on the off position. So it brings out like failures into the airframe. And this is an outside view for you guys. I haven't turned the lights off yet. I'm just there's too much to worry about. It's just so much. Alright, lights can come off now. Done. The logo light can definitely come off now. Now, I haven't actually set my altitude, so I probably should do that, otherwise we're going to black out. So we'll set our altitude for 5,000, 36,000. Do the failures happen? Okay, so yes, they can and they can't at the same time. Right, so if we go to failures, go to all systems. See this random here? You can select random and you can turn random failures on. How many minutes you want it, whether it's, so if you want a random failure to happen in like 1 hour of the flight or in 2 hours of the flight, that will happen. So that's how you can set that up. I've got it turned on for no. If you have the service-based failures will be anything that you done completely wrong with the aircraft, overspeed the flaps, overspeed the landing gear. You might stuff something up. Like I said, this could be also a service failure because I'm not turning the hydraulics off while I'm flying. But also, it opens up the maintenance. So in the next 248 hours, I have to do a service. Alright? So basically, this aircraft is living and breathing now. So every 250 hours, you have to service your own aircraft, which I think is just, it's just so good. So yeah, I really do like how they've done it. So reaching the altitude, so we're going to increase our altitude up to flight level 360. Very realistic, yes. Okay, so we want to keep continuing the altitude, so I'm just going to press the Alt Intervene button, and the aircraft will start raising up to that speed now, up to that height. Now, you can also level change, which is expedite in this aircraft. So I want to level change it, and I want to expedite the aircraft, right? Expedite that climb. If I don't want to, I can just set VNAV and it'll just climb. This thing climbs so quick. Like, I've been flying the BAE 146 for the last little while. Getting up to this height, just flight level 210, that took some time. Like, we're already at Hugo, which is the star, or the SID from Brisbane. And we're already up to the height that I would normally be for the 146. Like, the 146 probably wouldn't be up to height until where apogee is. See where top of climb is for us there? Like, a little bit further on where my mouse is up here is where the 146 would possibly come at. So, good airmanship. Let's get that heading around to our track that we're following. So, 190, so we'll set that there. Just so if the autopilot fails, we're all good. Alright, and now a lot of people don't know. Now, if there was traffic out there, make sure that you're on TARA, right? Alright, so make sure you're on that. Make sure you've got your transponder set to whatever they tell you. But to get traffic on the screen, you have to go up to here where it says TFC, okay? As you can see, there's nothing there, and people are like, oh, why can't I see traffic out there? Probably because I didn't press the TFC. So you press TFC, and there you go, you got traffic. Now, the weather radar does not work. Does the terrain radar work? Well, let's find out. So we have terrain on now, as denoted by the TERR, and traffic is also on. So we'll, when we come into Sydney... Oh no, there we go, bam! The radar is now working. Congratulations, we finally have our first terrain radar in MSFS. I didn't expect that to be working. At this height, anyway. But yeah. No, I just done the cold and dark. I will do an FMS tutorial because there is a lot of different ways to do FMS, because SimBrief is all integrated as well into the FMS, and I will be doing a full-blown setup on that as well, because there's certain things that you have to do to set SimBrief up to actually come into setting up the FMS. So basically, when you're coming into the aircraft for the first time, you'll have pretty much nothing there, right? So you'll have nothing here, and you'll have to go through certain things. There's a lot of different stuff you can do, but there will be an FMS tutorial coming out for sure. Yeah, no, basically, no, FMS is all done for you, mate. It's all done for you. I gotta say, man, I don't even know what frames I'm getting. Getting 31 frames up here, full max settings, not too bad. Doesn't feel like it. It actually feels a lot smoother than 31 frames. Alright, one thing I did forget on takeoff was the auto brake, so we'll turn that off. What else do we have? We've got waypoints. Do they show up on the map? Airports. Airports show up. That's nice. Data. So there's the data for the... so this data will tell you your Zulus by the time you get to waypoints and stuff. Oh yeah, it is. It's great. Position data. Waypoints, there's no waypoints around. That's airports. STA, there's an STA there. Weather radar is this one, but I don't think weather is actually working. There is rain around, but no weather on the radar, unfortunately. We have our winds, so we have a nice tailwind here. We got, as you can see, once we speed up, we can get quite fast up here. Got a nice 52 knot tailwind behind us. Our ground speed, our true airspeed. So there's a few other things that we can have a look at. So we can also request the winds as well. You get your wind datas and stuff. So we got all the winds here from these areas. So we got 65 knots coming from all of those winds there. So let's request load the winds. Force wind uplink, and we'll execute that. So there, that's the winds. That's the actual winds that we are facing right now, which I think is pretty good. But if we want to find the winds for this area, we request wait for the winds to come in. So this is like realistic bullshit. So you basically just got to wait. We're obviously not there yet, so we'll get our winds before we get there. Here comes the thing, so we'll load it. Should load the winds into here now. We'll execute. So we've got all different times now, so the winds will update over time. which is really good. So that's one thing. I wonder if this fix works. So if I want to fix for runway 34 left, we can go 34 left. Let's grab Sydney first. YSSY. Now we want 34 left. So 34 left at a radial of so 355 minus 200. That's 155 plus 20. 5. I think I'm wrong. Yeah, but what you can do is you can set your distances and stuff like that. So I can't remember what it was. It might be this. Yeah, no, it's a little different. Okay, so we want 175. 175. 355. 155. Distance of 10. And that's a radial. So what we can do now is if we have a look at the... you'll see a circle, a radial circle down there. There you can see. Now if I go to plan, we can go and check that out. Go to legs. Select the radial. There's your radial right there. So I select, what is it, 10... where are we? Go to 20. So there's your radial. As you can see, so I have on my fixed page 12. We'll set that up. 12. 155 at 10. And then 155 at 8. So at 12 I should be flaps 5, at 10 I should be gear down flaps 15, and at 8 I should be full flaps ready to land. And as you can see, it sets the radial up there for you. Oh yeah, nice. So it might be fun down in Newcastle then. Nice. And then the beam, you can set the beam radial as well, which is very tiny. Very, very small, as you can see it on my mouse there. Some real cool things that are coming. I'll be doing a lot of streams in the future. We've got a nice crosswind from the right at 70 knots there. God damn. That's pretty crazy. Let's see if the aircraft's crabbing. Doesn't look like it's crabbing. Nah, not really. Not crabbing at all. Yeah, I try to get it out. There's just so much. There is just so much. And this is my first stream for the aircraft. But yeah, I'll be doing a lot more, and I'll be going right into everything over the time of flying this aircraft. You can go back and have a look at my older videos from prepared stage. The aircraft is exactly the same. Well, it's not exactly the same. It's the 800 version. I flew a lot of them in my older videos, but it's the prepared version. So you can go back and watch a few of those. Everything in this aircraft is pretty much exactly the same that I remember it. And I'm just going to reiterate it. And if I find new things in this aircraft, I will be bringing it to you as well. So this aircraft is quite different from prepared and FSX. So, but yeah, if you haven't seen the HUD, this is the HUD right here. It's a bit hard to see because of the clouds. There we go. But yeah, there's our HUD. But yeah, for some reason yeah, there we go. Yeah, very hard to see. I wonder if there's got a brightness HUD. There's your brightness. It's going down now, so turn that right up and so we can see it. Those clouds are really annoying right there. Oh. I turned it off. Whoops. And so there's your HUD. And I'll be going through all the symbologies on this as well. I'm not going to do it now, but there's a lot of information there. Basically, it's just copied and paste from up here. Now, I don't know if I'm... Track IR is really weirding me out right now. I'm not sitting right, I don't think, for the HUD. There we go, that looks better. It kind of looks like the HUD is like a little bit out, but that's all glass right there. But yeah, just a few things on here. Obviously, you got your altitude tape on the right, your speed tape to your left. You've got here your distance to run. It's a very tiny looking, where my mouse is, you can see the 4.0 there. You can actually see that 4.0 down here as well. So it's just our next heading, all that sort of stuff. VNav path is selected, LNav, F speeds, all that sort of stuff. You got your, yeah, so there's a whole bunch of different symbols. But the aircraft is crabbing, and you can tell that the aircraft's crabbing. If you have a look where my mouse is, that's the flight vector path there. And it's not centered, you can see. So, yeah, Track IR is pretty good. I like it. It just feels a little wonky for me at the moment. I think it's just this thing. I'll click that in for manual, automatic. But yeah, with those fluffy white clouds, this crappy green doesn't work really well. Yeah, we have a big giant crosswind, man. It's kind of behind us and kind of to the side of us at the same time. 70 knots. It's insane. So yeah, we've got a big crosswind from the right. But when we if we look up here, we've got to turn to our left in a minute. So as you can see, when we get to SADLO, we turn to the left. So that crosswind's really going to push us in into it. Now, we have the Beoing is really, really good when it comes to VNav and the descent. It is, for the, like, out of all the other aircraft that I have flown, there is no auto descent, alright? You have to, even the A320, one of the most advanced aircraft, even the A320 Neo, so I can actually do this right now without the aircraft changing, right? So I can change my altitude to whatever I want, and the aircraft will stay there. That's exactly the same as the A320. But when I get to the top of descent, right, the VNav in the Beoing will automatically start descending the aircraft. The A320, I actually have to click a button for it to do that. So the Beoing's pretty good. Oh yeah, no, that's all good, man. That's all good. I'll keep talking. I like talking to myself. More people will join the stream eventually when I get more followers. But yeah, no, you enjoy work, mate, and I'll have more streams probably on the weekend when you're not working. So we'll see. Enjoy. Alright, so we'll just make sure our heading is still the same, which is good. Yeah, I'm pushing it. I'm pushing. But thank you very much, mate. That's appreciated. All right. So we'll really quickly, I want to check another feature that probably a lot of people don't use is the prog page or progression page. Now, this progression page, there's a lot of information, but the only information that you really need to worry about is this last waypoint, which is yours. The fuel quantity that is going to be at your waypoint and how far away it is. Now, at 150 nautical miles is when you start setting up for the next part of the phase, which is landing. Okay, so we want to double check to see if Sydney is going to be within range of our aircraft, so we can select. I don't think Sydney's there. Casino. So we don't have the Sydney weather yet, so we're going to just stick with 1.34 left. Okay? So Sydney's not there just yet. But anyways, we come in here, you set your approach up, you get given your STID or whatever from the ATC. And you've done all of that. Okay. So the next thing that we want to do is set up for. So I'm going to go back to. I've been having the Navigraph on there for some time. So I'll just move Navigraph out so you can see it. We want to set up for Navigraph down here. So we want to go over here to Sydney, open charts. We want to grab the Star 3-4 Alpha arrival, so we'll pin that. We'll have a look at that, and we want the 3-4 left. 3-4 left, we're going to pin that. Alright. So, we want to know that the restrictions are all set. So at Verus, we're going to be 8,000 above, and Barrow 9,000 below, so we'll have a look at those. So we go here. Verus, 8,000 above, 9,000 below, and so on and so forth. Okay? All good. There's our vector. So we will talk about the vector in a Sydney as well, because what happens is we're going to turn LNAV off and vector ourselves into runway 34 left. But we want to set a few things up because this aircraft does not set the radios, okay? So we need to set some radio frequencies up. So we're going to be vectoring from Nasho over to 34 left. So we're going to be doing a heading change out to this. So the normally ATC will tell you where to go, but we're going to do it ourselves. Okay, so we're going to bring up our ILS 34 left. We're going to grab the ILS frequency, which is 110.1. Okay, and we also need to set our courses up for 335 degrees. Okay, so let's do that. I'll leave that on there for you so you know what we're looking for. And I'm going to get rid of the side panels so you don't have all that junk in front of you. Right. So let's go and do just that right now. Alrighty, so we want to set our courses up. So 335. Yep, 335 is set. We want to set the other one up, 335. So for the first landing, I want to see if the auto land works. So we will be doing that. I'll do tutorials on how to do it all in the future. But this is just for this stream, just to see how it goes. Alright, so that's set. Making sure that our heading is still set for 190, which is good. And we're going to set our altitude now. Our first altitude that we need to think about once we get to where we need to go is 2901, right? Whoopsies, I've still got it on heading. So 291, so we'll go down here. So bring the 2901, flight level 291. Right, so that is the altitude that we need. So we're pretty much set, ready to go for when top of descent arrives. For some reason my speed brake is armed. There we go. Speed brake no longer armed. Okay. Awesome. So actually, can I arm my speed brake with this? Oh wow, I can actually arm my speed brake with my speed brake. Awesome! Oh, that is just, oh. My, I'm turning in my seat right now. I'm absolutely turning. So good. So good. Now, I'm not 100% sure how to get wing views in this because we can't get out. I probably have to get out and find out how to do some wing views in the cockpit as well. But there is a way to do wing views. Here are the camera, go to drone camera, showcase. not locked. There we go. Give you some nice wing views there. But there's got to be a way of getting wing views some other way. Definitely has to be. Look at the wing flex there. Oh, it's amazing. I'd have to probably go into the files and set up some wing views and stuff for you. For next time, but yeah, that's just how it is. Gotta be a way to do wing views elsewhere. There probably is. If we go to... No. No. That's wrong. Oh, wow. Look at the checklist, guys. Don't need that. I got a better checklist. There is probably wing views in the quick view bar here. Possibly. There's your wing views. Haha, that's so good. And because I have track IR, gents, I can jump up here and have a look. That's amazing. Look at that wingtip flex. That's so good. Hey, Captain. Yeah, I got my track IR, yeah. So I can look around the cab. It is a pity. Like, these are really good wing views. But the problem is I have to go through the drone camera to get to them. So, these handlebars come down. Did they come down? No, they didn't model the handlebars. How sad. Alright, so let's get some lights on in this aircraft, shall we? So we got some lights on. So the lights for the panel at the back here are down here. The lights for that are circuit breaker lights, stall warnings, all sorts of different things here. That's your position. Flaps test, that's pretty cool. Alright, so I just picked up another thing that we need to get ready for our landing. Top of the tent's coming up. Anyways, so we need to set our landing up to the nearest 50, okay? So just set it for 50, straight up, okay? That's your landing. If you don't set this up to flight level 360, and you wonder why your screen blacks out, it's because you did not set the pressurization, okay? So we'll be having a talk about that at another stage. Our next thing that we need to have a look at is the barrow. So we need to set our barrow up for our next thing. Okay, and we also need to set our hectopascals up for Sydney as well. So I'm going to guess Sydney's hectopascals right now, bearing in mind that it's raining. I'm going to say it's 1024. I'm going to see if I'm out by a long shot, but we'll see. Oh, we've also got meters. Oh yeah, nice. And I'm going to keep the FPV on. That's pretty cool. So I want to set the radios up. Now, I haven't showed you how to set radios up yet, but I'm going to set the VOR up, and I'm going to set both of them up. Okay, so the Sydney VOR is 12.10. The one for the runway, the ILS, is 110.10. And we'll also set it, the VOR up on the other side. But we should also set up the other one as well. You need both. Okay, in a Boeing, for the auto lane to work, both autopilots need to be on, which means everything has to mirror each other. What did I push? Do not touch the mouse wheel when you're doing stuff. Right. We also need to set our radio altimeter, okay? So, for Sydney, radio altimeter, we don't have to. We can set the barrow. Either one. We're going to set it to 2-1. Is it 2-1? Let's have a look at the Navigraph chart. Look at it. 2-1? I can't remember. It's 2... Yeah, for this runway, for 3-4 left, it's 2-2-0. The other one is 2-1. Alright. Glad I looked. Alrighty. We'll set that for 2-2-0. And there it is. So we've set that. As you can see, our aircraft is actually off to the right there. We're like, our aircraft's heading to 205, but we're actually traveling 190. Is that pretty crazy? Massive. We've got like 90 knots behind us now. It's insane. Why isn't Sydney in that direction? We'd be getting an extra 100 knots in speed. How are we going on fuel? Fuel's fine. Alright, so we're approaching top of descent, guys. Bear in mind, everything should be fine. Autopilot's all set, we're ready to go. We've set the VORs. The VORs are set to read the VORs, so VOR1, VOR2. So I'll be able to pick up Sydney once we're close-ish. And the last thing that we need to have a look at is the brakes. The last thing what we want to look at is brakes. So Sydney has quite a long runway that we're going to be landing on, so we only probably need auto brakes 2, and basically the aircraft should come to a stop on the runway. Now, unfortunately, because we are getting, we're not using a star that's going straight to the runway, and we got to vector ourselves. We still have a few more things to do, but at this point in time, if this was a star all the way to the runway, basically everything, as long as we select the altitude for the initial height for the ILS, the aircraft will land itself. We've just pretty much got to select a few buttons and off it goes. How you going? Welcome to the stream, Matt. We're getting ready for top of descent and landing into Brisbane. Sydney, not Brisbane. Jeez. We left Brisbane. We're going into Sydney. We're going to auto land it because this is probably one of the first aircraft that has auto land, other than the fly-by-wire. But yeah, we're going to be setting up for auto land. We'll see how we go. Cross fingers. Cross fingers this aircraft does alright. Alrighty. So I'll just really quickly set us back to Maury 3 hour for arrival. So you can see our flight. Where's our aircraft? He should be up here. There he is. Starting to degrade. The sound's starting to chop, so I'm probably going to have to end the stream when we land, but yeah. But we'll get more videos out. Wasn't expecting this sim to last long with this particular aircraft. Mind you, I've had since 11 AM. I've had this aircraft. I had this thing going. It's now 2:14. But the sim's been running for quite some time. God, it's been a while since I've flown this plane. Oh man, I miss it. I miss the Boeing so much. Can't wait till the 800 comes now. Got to fly that 800. Yeah, that's my baby. That's my baby. Once we start turning at, what was it? Crockery, or whatever it is. Yeah, Crockery. We will be getting that 90 knot tailwind. Alright, so VNAV is armed. We got our altitude. Now that's just the initial altitude. When we actually start descending, we'll lower that down to 3,000. I only said that because, I said that for two reasons. Well, mainly one reason. The first reason is while I'm doing other stuff, setting up the aircraft, I want the aircraft to descend as soon as it hits top of descent. That's the first reason. Because this aircraft will automatically do that. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is set VNAV, LNAV, and select the altitude, and it will do it itself. The other reason I do it is just a peace of mind. Be like, oh, yep, okay, we're getting ready for a descent, and I'll scan, as I'm scanning my engines, I'll be like, oh yeah, the altitude's not reading the same, and I'll realize, oh shit, top of descent's coming, that's right. So there's the two reasons that I have it there. So one for myself, and one for the actual aircraft. Because if you're doing so much stuff, trying to get the aircraft set up because you're like, oh, I missed out. Well, that's why you set the aircraft up at 150 knots at nautical miles away. Because you don't want to miss that point. There it is, the automatic retard descent. Okay, so the aircraft is now automatically descending, and we know that. We can tell that it's descending. The throttle's starting to slow down, and we have our 3-degree glide coming up here, which is good. So what we can do is we'll start lowering the altitude now, and we'll bring it to 3,000. Let's do that. How you going? Welcome to the 737-700. Oh, listen to that. Oh, that's so good. The rumble in the engines. We're coming into Sydney now, so we're just starting to descend. We're going to bring back our altitude to 6,000, which is the flyover height of Sydney. So we're going to be about 6,000 flying over the airfield. Listen to that rumble. Alright. Loader coming on in. Now, I wonder if we can pick up Sydney's meta by now. We can get Richmond's. So it's 2-8. I was 4 off, guys. I was literally 4 off. We're going to check Sydney when we get closer. But yeah, I was 4 off. Richmond's pretty much in Sydney. Alright, we set the altimeter. Hey yo, welcome to the stream. And there's the turn. Now we should pick up some speed. We've got a nice little tailwind happening now. Little bit of FPS drops there. Starting to run into the degrading problem ever so slightly. So, give you a little bit of a thumbs up on what's going on here. This is the R&P, or the 3-degree glide slope here. This carrot that's moving up and down, which means we are below, I think, we are below the glide slope. So as you can see, it's starting to come up. And if that was down here, we would be above the glide slope. So we're coming back onto glide slope now, which is good. And there we go. So basically it's just bringing us down nicely, smoothly. We're all good. So we'll bring this back to like 40 now. We'll just come on in nice and slowly. But yeah, so basically it's a monitoring game right now. So we just monitor the aircraft, making sure that everything's all in its right spots. I'm gonna go and set the second lot of engines stuff to here. That's where I like having it. So we've got the vibrating of the engines, 0.6 in the vibrations, 0.7 in the vibrations. Not overly much. There's 0.8 in the 0.8 in the left engine right now. The oil temp in the left engine is 86, the oil in the right is 87. Not sure if that's a problem there. Shouldn't be. Alright, is there anything more that we have to set up along here? Don't think so. Anyways, one other thing that we can start setting up is the Heads-up display. Okay, so we want to set it up for auto land. Alrighty? So IMC conditions, VMC, or AIIR. Okay? We also want to select the runway 35, 34, runway 34, yeah, enter. Or is that the heading? I can't remember. Oh, the runway elevation. My bad. That's it. It's elevation. Right. So the runway elevation, if we have a look on the navigraph here real quick. Oh, there goes our sim. It's starting to degrade. Let's get down the sim. Let's get down on this thing. Runway elevation's 14. Okay. So runway elevation 14. Enter. 3 degrees glide. And we got the PRI mode. We want that there. Okay. Alright, so that's set. We have a look here. We've got the arm up in the top left hand corner. It's basically all you need to do there. The VOR still hasn't picked up Sydney yet for some reason. You can put that away for now. So at or above 8,000 at Vassara. So we'll see how we go. We've got another. I think that's what. We'll set it for 40. And I think that's 40, 20, 10. Something like that. But at we're gonna be 9,000 below at Barrel. Barrow. We'll see how we go. $8,000 or above, that's fine. Getting close to 2 hours now, and I can just hear the aircraft just starting to degrade. Like just the sound quality is just starting to go. That memory leak is starting to take hold of my computer. All right, we got another 10,000 to go. Will we make 8,000 before Varus? Now, it looks like we're going to be at 6,000 at Ovis. What do we need to be at Ovis? 8,223 at Ovis. By rights, this aircraft should hold what it needs to hold. Alrighty, set standard. That's set for 18,000. I probably should be able to set it at 10,000. There'll be a setting in the FMC 10,000, so I'm not going to set it to 10,000 because that's Australia. We set ours at 10,000, not 1,800. Not 1,800, 18,000. Flight level 180, whatever you prefer to call it. Alright, you can see they're popping up in the to put that away for a sec. You can see they're popping up on the screen there. That's our fixed reference lines there that we put out before. Now I'll show you how those reference lines work as well. So when we get closer, we'll do 20 degrees now. The 8,000 or above, which we're still above, well and truly above. Aircraft's on profile. I haven't touched anything, guys. I've just been clicking on buttons and stuff. How you going? Welcome to the stream, man. Nice work. Thanks for joining. We should be well and truly under 9,000 by the next point. Because if that's 20, so that should be 15, 10, and 5 on the rings. So we've got 15 nautical miles to run to the next point. Alright, almost there, almost there. Probably about 6 minutes left. Alright, turn track IR back on. Let's have a look around the aircraft. Coming up to 11,000 now. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're just about to land. Going to test out the automatic landing feature, or the auto land feature. Hopefully it works. We'll see. Don't worry about the sound. That is the memory leak of this simulator right now. It is really doing my head in. I can't wait till the memory leak is gone, because then I can actually fly this aircraft more than 2 hours at a time. But anything over 2 hours, which I am at an hour and 57 minutes so far since I started streaming. So I'm getting close to my 2 hour mark where the sim will just start going crap. Anyways, we're going to set standard now. The standard is set for 1028. And I'm going to try and move around and get landing lights sorted. And I'll get my turn lights sorted. That's it there. Now the aircraft should change its speed, which it is doing just nicely. I really want to get this on the ground before the before it starts degrading. If you're ever wondering how to do weather, you just press WXR up here and turn the weather on, but I don't know if the weather's actually going to show. But you can turn terrain on, and we do have a functional terrain radar. So there you go, there's the terrain dropping up on the screen now. Aircraft slowing down. Okay, one last thing that we need to do now that we're getting down under 10,000 is we've got to pull the speed brake back to arm. It is now on arm. So that speed brake will come up when we need it. Final descent. Oh, fuck, man. The FPS right now, the performance, is going shit. Alright, where's Navigraph? Let's get Navigraph set. As you can see, we are tracking along good. I'm no longer going to use track IR because it's really going to stuff up the sim. But yeah, we're over 2 hours now, so the sound is going to sound really shit. It's just going to crackle. Not good. Not good indeed. I don't know what is wrong and why the YSSY has not fixed up the memory leak. But anything under 2 hours, that's perfect. Anything over 2 hours, this down starts happening. It just crackles, it pops, it's not stable. Another 10 minutes from now, the FPS will start going down from whatever I've got, like a 70 down to like 30, then back up to 70, then down to 20, then after about another half hour, around about 2 hours and 30 minutes, I'll have 10 to 5 FPS. And basically by that time you're ready to land, so landing with 10 to 5 FPS, it's... I've just cancelled so many of my flights, just whatever, you know. For some reason, radios, are the radios even turned on? That's the next question. Anyways, we're going to set the ILS. Oh. The active. Make sure the ILS is set. Oh, there it goes. That sound is really doing my head in. Not doing good for the stream. Not doing good for the stream at all. Alright, let's set the heading bug for 180. So close. So 6,000 or above, which is what we're at. Then after this 6,000, we start descending again. So we'll start descending down to 4,000. We should be able to pick up Sydney now, so we'll go weather. Yep. Nice. Oh god, that sounds doing my head in. Alright, so now we have to go out to SOSJ? How you going? Welcome to the stream. Sorry about the sound. My sim's starting to degrade. That memory leak is absolutely painful. But we're about to land anyway. We're going to test out the auto landing feature. Hopefully it will work. The sound's the only problem at the moment. I haven't got any FPS problems yet. But they could be coming. Alright, India Sierra November has been identified. The DME is 6.6 nautical miles away. So we've got the ILS, runway 34 at a 335 initial fix check, I should say. So once we line up with our last waypoint up here, we'll continue descending for our 4,000. And then we'll, once we've leveled off at 4,000, we'll continue down to Masho, and then we'll line up for runway 34 left. ILS is all set. Yeah, we're pretty much just going to try and land this bad boy on its, let it do itself. So we'll set the aircraft up, let the aircraft do its landing. Apparently it's implemented, so we'll just see how it goes, shall we? Yeah, but can't do much about the memory leak. After 2 hours on my end, my game starts going to crap. So I can only fly for about an hour and 40 minutes before, yeah, I have to shut the sim down and off it goes. Yeah, apparently they do know about the memory leak, Philip. Apparently. Not 100% sure. So basically, after 2 hours for me, the sound starts going, and about 30 minutes later, my frames start dropping. So at the moment, the frames are working fine, but if I was to use track IR, the frames will drop even faster. But at the moment, it doesn't seem bad. It's just the what do you call it? Just the sounds at the moment. All right, so we'll set the 155 on the heading there. So we're starting to level off now, which is all good. Hang on a sec, let me have a look at that. Yeah, 2 hours. Some people could do a whole 10 hours. I don't know what that is. I have done everything in my power. Even turning, what do you call it, photogrammetry off. Nah, doesn't do anything. If anything, it's the same. So I could turn photogrammetry on if I really wanted to, so... But anyways, we've got the 737 now, and it does have an auto land feature, so when you do get to the end of your leg and the sim starts degrading, just let the aircraft land itself, and hopefully you don't crash. But anyways, okay, so we're at the 4,000 feet. Just going to pretend that I've been given a vector to my new area. So we're going to keep continuing straight. I'm going to turn the heading bud over to Saucy J, or sausage, as some people call it. So that is right there. Get the track IR, and we will say goodbye to LNAV, and we'll go heading select. There it is. Oh, heading select. And around we go. So what we'll do is, while we're doing this, we'll start descending down to 3,000 as well. And because we've already made it to 4,000 feet, we need to hit the Alt Int there. Let the aircraft sort that out. Keep the heading bug coming around to Sausage. Apparently really wet on the runway here in Sydney. I haven't done a lot of things. I could probably go down and set the landing data that I haven't done. Let me see if I can really quickly get to that landing data. Approach phase. We're going to select 30 flaps. That's pretty much all I've forgotten so far. So 128. We're a very light aircraft right now. Alright, so we can set V-lock now. Wait until V-lock is locked up, and then we'll set the APP. Bring the heading around just a little bit more. You probably wouldn't do what I'm doing here if you've got VATSIM on. On VATSIM, you'd be listening to what they're doing. Hey, we're not on VATSIM. I didn't want to be on VATSIM straight away. With this aircraft, just wanted to get a stream out just to see all the different features prior to going into it. Alrighty, so we're going to bring the flaps down now. 1. So we're going to bring them down to 5. V-lock is now activated, guys. So V-lock is now activated. We can go APP as well. Come flaps 5 now. So at 12 knots we'll go flaps 15. At 12 At my fixed pitch there, we'll go flaps 15 and gears down. So one more and gears down. We're also going to select the command B mode because we've got everything set up for auto land. We're going to select our thing. We're coming up to 10, so we'll be selecting the next flap. Sorry, we're not at flap 70 yet. We'll be selecting 25 at 10. We'll do that now. And there we go, we got our first random failure, guys. So it doesn't look like we'll be doing a auto land. I'm gonna have to learn how to do that sort of stuff. Well, there we go. We've got our first major problem right there. No front wheels. So our nose wheel's not coming down. That's what that annoying alarm is. So that's what service-based failures do. If you don't do nothing with the aircraft properly, it's going to put something wrong on the aircraft. I could have broken that when I took off, I'm not 100% sure. So we won't be auto landing today, guys. We'll have to do this manually. I don't know if there's a way of shutting that up either. But it looks like the ILS is lining up perfect. So because of the memory leak, I'm going to leave it to like the last minute to disconnect the autopilot. It's a pain, otherwise I'd fly it from here.
1,000.
Yeah, that door's just not coming out at all. Wait.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Alright, so emergency landing, no gears. We're gonna have to land on the runway. See if we can stop without crashing on the sim, eh?
50. 30.
Why is that speeding up? She wants to go around. Oh, okay. We're going around, guys. don't know if that was the aircraft that wanted to do it or what. But she wanted to go around, so we're going around. Alright, so let's see if we can select heading autopilot. Altitude. Yeah, autopilot don't want to work either. I really wish this memory leak would hurry up and get fixed, because it is really just not good. Not for big aircraft. Alright, manual flying the whole way. Get rid of that. I'm going to turn the terrain radar off because I think that could help with some FPS. Get back up to 3,000. All gears are down now for some reason. That's weird. Am I just tripping, or were the gears half down? I swear the front nose wheel was down, not down before. Well, in that case, let's try and get that landing gear back up. No. I think it's probably because I pulled those emergency handles before. They're down now. So in that case, let's go 185 so we don't do too much more stress to the aircraft. And we'll go +5. Oh shit. Flying pretty quickly there, my bad. Kinda want autopilot to frickin' kick in, but it's not going to. Alright, there we go. Got autopilot back in. So stressful. Shush. Alright, let's get the autopilot heading back out that direction. We'll get that. And the autopilot working. Thank you. Whew. Alrighty. Yeah, so we're getting to 2 hours and 30 minutes of my stream, and the memory leak is really starting to get bad right now. Really, really bad. Alright, so where are we at? So VS. Excuse me. We want to be going down to 3,000. Alright, so just double check that we've got 3 green lights down. Yes, we're good. Make sure that we've got the wheels down this time. They are. I don't know how the nose wheel came down, but yeah. It's down now. But yeah, no, this memory leak is really annoying. Can't do streams with crappy memory leaks. Not my favorite. Alright, let's spin her back around now. And we'll get her locked up again. Alrighty, now we should be good to go for the runway. I'm going to turn off the truck IR. The frames are just real bad right now. I don't know what's going on with that. Whew. Everything's set, we're ready to go down. We've got our glide slope is alive and all that sort of lovelies. VREF is set. Oh, I wanna +5 that VREF. VREF is now set. Oh, sorry about all of this, guys. I am surprised we did a go around. Good. Happy. Alright, the glide slope is now alive. The aircraft will now start descending onto the runway. Hopefully. Without any problems. Sorry about the frickin' chatter of the sound, guys. It is just the memory leak. It is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious, the memory leak. Frames are going right down. Absolutely disgusting, if you ask me. This is why we got auto land. And there goes my frames at 2 hours and 27 minutes. Alright, flaps 30. Get that last one down. Apparently we got traffic out there, I don't know where, because all of my AI are turned off. 2 hours 28, and I want to get down in 2 more minutes, because if I don't get down in 2 more minutes, I will see a slideshow. Which you're probably already seeing on the stream already. It is just disgusting. This is the memory leak, guys.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Wonder if the memory leak fixes itself when we land.
50.
Flight slope.
20. 10.
Oh, fuck. That's a bad landing. Wasn't it? Real bad. Well, I don't know if that's meant to happen, guys. But yeah, we got down on the ground anyways. I don't know what that all that other stuff was. But anyways, will we make it to the gates? I highly doubt it. I really do. I highly doubt it. Autopilot off. Flaps up. Speed brakes up. Yeah. I'm just gonna do us all a favor and just end the stream here, guys. This is just not good for any more streaming. It's just, yeah, the frames are just crap. I've got less than 8 frames now. So, sorry about that. I'm just going to have to wait until the streams get a little bit better. Until the memory leak is fixed. So, anyways, thanks guys. We will try and do another stream, but I will make sure that I get the flight under 2 hours. Alright guys, thank you very much. We'll see you later.